A person that's stubborn is committed to not changing. There's just no give with them. It's their way or the highway. What do you do? Is there somebody in your life that you need to get along with, but you have a problem because they're really stubborn? All of us have dealt with extremely stubborn people in our lives, and it's a very difficult situation. To begin with, we should understand that people that walk in this constant attitude of stubbornness are literally being captive to a spirit of stubbornness. The thought pattern that they're coming to agreement with is the result of a spirit that they're receiving. If you think about it, thoughts are spiritual things. Words are spiritual things, but beyond words are the realm of thoughts. Thoughts produce words, and every time we go up a layer, we're ascending into the Spirit. We have words, which come from our thoughts, and our thoughts come from the Spirit. If you're dealing with a person that walks in this attitude of being stubborn, understand that it's a spirit that they're walking in. It's a personality temperament that is so defined that it's difficult to move them or budge them, because after all, by definition, a person that's stubborn is committed to not changing. That's what makes it so hard to get along with them. A person that's stubborn is not willing to open up, to consider other possibilities. A person that's stubborn is not willing to try to take a step towards us as we take a step towards them. Generally speaking, these types of individuals, they don't change much. And that's why it becomes such a problem. Let's say that, for example, you're dealing with somebody at work and something that they're doing in their behavior is causing you a lot of pain and a lot of stress, and you've tried to, speak with this individual about it. You've tried to do it politely and gently, but their attitude is just like, it's your problem, I'm not changing. One thing that sometimes is appropriate is to bring in a third party. It's not always possible, but if it is possible, there's times where that third party can bring some leverage, which will open up a door, create a chink in the armor, so to speak, of the stubborn person, that they might either be forced to or be made willing to become more pliable, so that there can be a more agreeable path. Sometimes, however, we're in situations, let's say, for example, it's a family dynamic, and we've got somebody in the family that maybe, it's an aunt or an uncle. Maybe it's even, someone closer than that in your family, and they're just so set in their ways. They're just walking in such a posture that they're the one that's right and everybody else is wrong. They're not willing to consider anybody else's point of view. You've done everything that you can to try to bring peace and to try to compromise as much as possible. And we've done everything that we can to walk in the love of Jesus, to find a path forward with this person, but there's just no give with them. It's their way or the highway. What do? You know what you do, beloved? You keep your distance as much as possible. And that's the only way to keep our sanity. And it's the only way to keep us really healthy for all our other relationships. Because if we put ourselves in a position where we're with a stubborn person for too long, and we ended up getting emotionally broken in the process, that's not going to be good for anybody. Do your best to try to get along, bring in a third party, and if after that there's no budging the individual, try to negotiate that relationship with the stubborn person so that you minimize your exposure to them, that you keep your distance from them, that you literally avoid them, just like Yeshua told his disciples to do when he said, listen, if you go into the home and you come in truly with peace and they won't receive the peace, don't waste all your effort there. Don't waste all your time there. Move on and develop relationships with people that will receive your peace. Beloved, life is too short and there's too many people to be reached than to spend too much time on stubborn people that we're going to never reach or change.